Welcome to 2 out of 3 Recommend. I'm Lee.
And I'm Brett.
We're two brothers out of three getting together to chat.
And recommend drinks, movies, shows, and things to keep you busy.
Welcome to another episode of 2 out of 3 Recommend. We are 2 out of 3 brothers recommending stuff.
Stuff.
It's nice and succinct when you just say stuff.
General life
How
stuff.
are you, Brett?
I am well, Lee. How are you?
I am also well.
There you go.
Shall we launch straight into a drink?
Sure, let's do it.
I'm fully on board the Bilson's train.
Look,
I know we tried one recently.
Went recently on a road trip, which I'll talk about later.
Yes.
And stopped at Wodonga. And went to a first choice liquor.
Yep.
Bilson's galore.
Well, because they're close. In Beechworth.
Yeah. So I think we need to go to Beechworth, Lee.
So we've tried the fruit tangle, the passion fruit, the banoffee, and they're 3 from 3 so far. But this is the Bilson's creamy soda.
Creamy soda.
I
don't associate the colour blue with creamy soda.
No, it's a brown or a red for me.
It's like pink is salt and vinegar.
Yeah.
And that's all I got.
All right, green is chicken.
Green is chicken.
Yeah.
Barbecue is orange. So I eat Smiths. It's what I'm trying to tell you.
So I'm a bit hit and miss with creamy soda in real life.
Okay.
So let's see how this goes. Ready?
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Cheers.
Tastes like creamy soda.
Yeah. Or a bit of fireball in that.
I was going to say, do you need where is it? Where is it?
It's not in this. It's not on these shelves.
It's in your bedroom.
It's in my
your private stash, is it?
It's in my real cupboard of regular drinking.
At your workplace. I have a snack.
Oh yeah, good.
I have a Cadbury.
I have seen the Cadbury slices.
I've seen these around, and I've never bought them. And I almost bought them the same week that we had passion fruit as a drink.
Oh yeah.
Mike, lucky we didn't double down on the passion fruit, so I should have opened this earlier.
But
okay. I got vanilla passion fruit
Cadbury dairy milk slices.
Cadbury dairy milk, because they got the things that are... Oh, it's soft.
Oh.
It's
because it's been under our studio lights.
Yeah, so vanilla passion fruit. Let's see.
Oh, it's creamy scented.
Not getting much passion fruit. There it is.
I'm not getting much flavour.
I got a bit of passion fruit there. At the end. It just tastes like, Snack, the greatest chocolate? Tastes like one of them.
Honestly, I'm not getting much flavour at all.
No.
So I'm a yes on the Bilsons.
And did you know one serve equals 4 pieces?
Good luck.
Stuffed.
Good luck. Obviously, the person who decides that for Cadbury doesn't live alone.
Doesn't eat chocolate. There's not flavour.
I'm a yes on the creamy soda. I'm a don't have to on the vanilla passion fruit dairy milk.
This sounds weird. I'm not even getting much chocolate flavour.
No, I'm not just getting much flavour at all.
Let me wash that down with a creamy soda.
Oh, this could be dangerous. If
refreshing.
I want to bloody make my own fire swamp with a bit of fireball and Bilson's creamy soda.
Double the alcohol.
Oh, you know what? I'm looking for. I haven't been to our bar for a while for a $5 fireball.
I was talking to friends earlier today. About working out. Need to go there.
Maybe we should go this weekend.
I should go there again.
Yeah.
I will go there again. I should need to go there soon.
Okay, I'm going to catch up on a previous recommendation. This was something that you recommended to me long before we started either of our podcasts. The TV show that has won every Emmy known to humankind.
Game of Thrones?
Succession.
Oh.
I had a wisdom tooth out last week.
Yep.
You might have seen on our socials that I finally got the chance to watch most of season 1 of Succession.
Right.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's well acted. It's well written.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of talking.
Yes. That was
just
my issue.
a lot of talking.
I my struggle with it was that I didn't like anyone. And
No.
you're not meant to. You just like Cousin Greg because he's funny.
I didn't mind Sarah Snook.
She's good. She
She's
gets
good.
a
I
bit
think
much later on.
she's the likable one.
But I didn't like it. Like, I still watched the whole thing and wanted to know how it ended.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I enjoyed watching it. I just watched it because I felt that I had to. Societal pressures made me watch.
Which is why I haven't watched Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I don't think I will finish it. I think I'll go back to Yellowstone if I want that.
Okay.
Because it's similar. They're not all fighting.
Do you want to know how it ends?
Nah, don't spoil it. Because they might have listeners that haven't finished it yet. I'm assuming that Brian Cox dies.
So Yellowstone.
Yellowstone is a bit like that. They're not all trying to go after Kevin Costner's ranch.
Yeah.
But there is the sons and the daughter wants to try and do something else, and the son that doesn't want to try and do something else is not really good.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like Kendall is like, I want to fucking run this thing.
Yeah.
But keeps fucking up.
And Kieran Culkin's like, I'm a weirdo sex perv.
Yeah. But he could be better. And then Sarah Snook probably could be best, but
Yes.
she doesn't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And that's very similar to Yellowstone. But in Yellowstone, other things happen. Like there's occasionally physical
There's a subplot.
fighting
Oh, okay.
and a subplot, and there's cows.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Cows.
So I tried to describe it to someone last night as Yellowstone without the cows.
All right.
It's without the cows and without the fighting.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just verbal fighting.
So if you watched Yellowstone and you're like, fucking, there's too much actually nice scenery
There's too many cows. I should
and
watch
too many
Succession.
cows, I'd rather just watch Skyscrapers than watch Succession. If you watch Succession and you're like, there's not enough action,
Yeah.
watch Yellowstone.
Okay.
Okay?
I might watch neither.
Okay.
You know what I did, Lee?
What?
I watched a horror movie. I did. I watched
I
a
did
horror
too,
movie.
actually. I can't remember what it's called.
Mine was hilarious.
Oh, really? In
Yeah.
a good way?
In a great way. I've
Right.
never I laughed very much at
Yep.
this movie.
Yep.
It's Megan.
Oh, the little AI doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Chat GPT killer.
Hilarious. It is so just it's just camp.
Yeah, okay.
Like there's just some random stuff in there. And there's this one scene where the doll starts to go crazy and kill people, right?
Yep.
No, it's no spoiler because that's literally the plot. But it's got there's a kid in there, and then it's the kid whose parents die, and the auntie of the kid takes over.
Yep. Okay.
The auntie has no place taking care of this child.
Jumanji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like, but I have toys. She works at the toy company. She has
Okay.
toys. I'm like, they're collectibles. Anyway. And it's one bit, then she's like, I'll never let anybody hurt you. And then she goes around killing people. She kills a kid. It's hilarious the way it happens as well. And there's this one scene that's, I think, in the trailer where for no reason, the doll goes she chases after this guy.
Yep.
And then she is walking down a hallway and then breaks into a dance. A little dance number. She does this weird little shimmy dance. And
That's
then a
odd.
flippy thing. And then it's really funny. And then they try and destroy it. And then she comes back and then and there's one point she's playing a piano. She's playing Toy Soldiers on the piano. Toy
soldiers.
And then
So the premise is that the AI doll is charged with looking after,
yeah.
and
So it's
instead
like
of
this
just
doll
like
will be your best friend, the best friend you've ever
best
had.
friend and take care of you, and instead
Yeah.
of taking care of you, goes like Terminator style,
Goes
taking
like,
care of.
I will take care of you, and by which if anybody makes fun of you, I
Yeah.
will push them in front of a car, kind
Yeah,
of
right.
thing.
Okay.
Right? But it was just so funny that it was good. And I
Right.
messaged my friend Liam at the time I was watching it, and I said, Liam, you have to watch this movie called Megan. And he goes, I'm watching it right now too.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Creepy.
And it was just so random, and the acting was that there was some really funny stuff in it. The acting wasn't that great. The kid was probably the best actor in the movie.
Oh, really?
And it was just funny. I can't describe it. It was very just like, I don't know if it was meant to be making fun of itself kind of funny. Bit Sharknado-y in that sense. Whereas like, was this trying to be serious? But then the doll gets its face smashed in. It's just hilarious.
Maybe I'll watch it. Is it a bit Night of the Living Dummy Goosebumps book?
It's maybe that, but with a bit more money.
Okay, all right. I'm still will not forgive.
And do you know who produced it?
Who?
James Wan.
Yeah, see, producing, okay. Directing, no thanks.
Maybe he directed it too. Let me have a look.
I will not forgive R.L. Stein.
I have to look it up on IMDb, and it's spelled M3gan.
Yeah. I can see it here on the Google.
Directed, no, not directed by him. Jared Johnston. I thought it was just bloody iconic. Like, it's so camp.
Fantastic.
That it's hilarious.
I might watch it. Because, I thought about watching it the other day, but I didn't. Hang on, when did you watch it? No, it would have been during the day. Because it would have been weird if, like, you, me, and Liam were all watching it at the same time.
I watched it at night.
Yeah, no, I would have watched it during the day while I was recovering from the wisdom tooth removal. I watched another horror movie, but I can't remember the name of it, so I'm not going to talk about it today.
Okay, so it's a good movie, isn't it?
Yeah. But I have started to watch a horror show.
Okay.
It is Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know much about it other than Guillermo del Toro is a great director.
Yeah.
And a fantastic horror director. And then as Shane and I were deciding whether or not to watch it, I said, I feel like this could be a little bit Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Yes.
And then what happens at the start? Guillermo del Toro walks out to tell us about the story that's about to get told. I'm like, this is Alfred Hitchcock Presents. But with a 2023 budget. So Guillermo del Toro, as producer, has picked these short stories and picked these directors to make them into hour-ish episodes.
What's that on?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
And they're good. I've watched 2 of them.
Uh-huh.
They're both quite scary. Maybe I've watched 3. They're well-made horror TV. Sometimes you get horror TV that is a little low budget.
Yeah.
But this is Guillermo del Toro on Netflix.
Yeah.
So they've got budget.
They've got the budget.
So, yeah, it's good. And I feel like there are a couple of or a few horror directors that are going to get a little bit more exposure from this, which is good. One set in Victorian England, which is relevant to our episode coming out Friday for Two Drink Cinema.
Yes.
No orphans, though.
Oh.
And another one set in the now time in a storage place, like a self-storage joint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So storage lockers seem to be a horror trope sometimes.
Yeah, people creepy keep their storage.
Yeah.
Fucking that's sorry, you know what I mean. They've got a lot of things to keep because they're weirdos.
They've got a storage locker in Santa Clarita Diet that I'm watching at the moment as well.
That's good.
Have you watched other things?
I watched another movie.
Okay.
It's a gays. It's got gays in it. It's red, white, and royal blue.
Oh, no spoilers, other than I'm pretty sure it's going to have a happy ending. Because it's a rom-com.
It's all right.
I actually listened to an interview yesterday with the author of the book on which it was based.
Yeah.
It was optioned before the book was released.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The story is good. It's predictable. It's almost like a American, those bloody Hallmark movies. That kind of rom-com.
Well, what the author said is when they wrote the book, they wanted to write a tropey rom-com.
Okay, well, they succeeded.
Yeah, a bit to say, like, everyone deserves a tropey rom-com.
Yeah.
Because we've had lots of cis white people rom-coms.
Yep.
And we've started to get...
Those Hallmark Christmas movies that all look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've started to get a bit into some racial diversity
Yes.
in those rom-coms, but we haven't quite got into the gender diversity of those rom-coms. And so they said they wanted to write a tropey rom-com for queer people,
Yep.
and it was optioned before it was released. The book was released. And she says Greg Berlanti was the person, and because of Love, Simon,
Yep.
it was produced by Berlanti, they knew that Greg Berlanti could get it into the mainstream,
Yeah.
which is what they wanted.
Yeah.
So and it's on
good.
Amazon Prime, and people
Yeah.
have been going off over it for weeks.
The overall story is pretty good,
Yeah.
if not predictable. The acting's all right. It's good to look at. Uma
Yes.
Thurman's in it.
Oh, yeah?
Doesn't do a very good southern accent, does Uma Thurman?
Yeah, okay.
And also, I was like, do we need it? But then it's kind of relevant to the story that she's from Texas.
Is she the president?
She's the president.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And it's, it has some good moments in it. Some funny lines.
Would you recommend?
I would recommend.
Okay, because I'm going to read it and watch it.
As a movie that, it's just a nice movie to watch.
Oh, will I cry?
You potentially will cry. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And it's a really funny, there's like a cameo-ish at the end thing, which is funny.
Is there a credit scene? Post-credit
No,
scene?
yeah, there's a post-credit scene. No, it's just somebody who plays a character that you don't see until the end. It's kind of a funny choice of who it is.
Oh, okay. Mile Hawk.
Yeah. She plays her daughter.
Yeah.
They look alike. It was great casting. Yeah, but it's a nice movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Good.
watch it. Yeah.
Okay. I will watch
The
it.
problem I had with it is just like, it's typical rom-com. They don't like each other at the start.
Yep.
Then they like each other. And that transition went a bit too quick for me.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I hate you, now I'm sucking your dick. And it's just like...
I'm going to try and find the book that I've just finished reading because I do want to recommend that because it was very actually good.
Okay.
But while I talk about that, I also want to recommend that everybody should come and play baseball because I've just been appointed as the coach for the summer, one of 3 coaches at my baseball club, and I think everyone should come and play because we always need more players.
There you go, everybody.
All right? So if you're listening, you want to come and play baseball, get in touch with us on the socials or just rock up to Footscray Baseball Club and I'll be there and you can play baseball with me.
That's good.
Okay.
Since our last episode,
Yes?
I have recently been on a road trip,
Oh, yeah.
the family trip that somebody in the family didn't make
I
it
was
to.
spewing.
But it's all right. I updated everyone on your life. Actually, no, I don't think I did.
Yeah, you probably didn't.
Anyway. No, I did. Yeah, I talked about you a bit. That's fine. It's not my
Teaching
job.
now, podcasts, author.
Yeah.
That's my life.
Something has a cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would recommend road trips.
Yep.
So we did the family birthday thing was in Canberra.
Yep.
Don't know if I'd recommend Canberra.
Unless you've got family there, not Canberra.
And we did halfway. So we did 3.5 hours to Wodonga.
You did do the other half as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that was one day.
Yeah.
So Friday to Wodonga, Saturday to Wodonga to Canberra.
Yep.
And then Monday we drove all the way back Canberra to Melbourne.
One person drove, I heard.
Yes.
Good
Which
driving.
was surprising.
Yeah.
Not that it was who it was that, yeah. Anyway, not having a go at your driving skills, Maddie, if you're listening. We made it there in one piece. Although there was a funny thing that it seemed at one point we were getting followed by police, which was hilarious. But I would recommend road trips. They're fun and more comfortable than planes.
Yeah. But also, like, it's 45 minutes to Canberra on a plane.
Yeah, but
Not
then you
6.5
can't play
hours.
20 questions for 5 hours. We played 20 questions because there's this game on the internet, this movie doodle game.
Yes.
and they have a 20 questions version of it.
Yeah, right.
So we were playing that a bit. And then we were like, I will do another type of 20 questions. And then on the way home, I was like, all right, I have 20 questions for Maddie. And you have 20 questions to guess which member of the family I'm talking about. Because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And she doesn't quite know who's who. And
Well,
it was very
there are
entertaining.
lots of members of the
Yeah.
family that don't know quite who's who in the
Yeah.
other sections of the family.
Especially one that didn't recognise half the people that were there. But she old, so we'll forgive her. No, but it's quite funny. Then we went on to 20 questions about just random people, and I tried to. So we were like, celebrity. Guess I nearly spilt my drink. Guess a celebrity.
Yep.
Guess a movie. We were trying to do
20
that.
questions is one of the great road trip games.
20 question movie, celebrity, and I was like, all right, I got a 20 questions, and it's a historical event. So I was like, I wanted something different.
Yeah.
I wanted to try to do something different.
Did you do
We
any
got it.
I Spies?
We did you have to do 3 things on your road trip, which we used to do as a kid.
Yep.
And we did a purple car.
Yep.
It was the thing we always used to do as a kid. A purple car, a broken windmill, and a
Yep.
dead wombat. And we got all of them.
I feel like there are more purple cars now than there was then.
There was one very purple ute in Seymour.
Shiny.
Pretty shiny, yeah.
Yeah. They sometimes have purple sparkly ones.
Not sparkly, but
Yeah,
clean.
shiny.
yeah, but it's a different way to travel. Although the Hume Highway is
Boring.
and needs a bit of an upgrade.
Really? Thought it was one of the good roads.
Oh no, not the one we took. Yeah, but no, it was a fun weekend.
Okay, so I recommend road trips.
I also recommend that if you have a day off in a city,
Yep.
plan ahead. Don't
okay.
randomly have breakfast at your hotel, then with 10 people of your family, go, we should just go into Canberra.
Questacon.
We go, all right, let's just go in. Let's get the bus. So we got the bus from where we were staying to the city, and we got on, and people just got on, right?
Yeah.
And then I was at the front with however they're related to me, and we're like, oh, how do we get a ticket? And the bus driver was like, oh, you're visitors.
Yep.
And we're like, oh, yeah. She goes, oh, just get on. I was like, thanks, mate. This is
Big
great.
country town of Canberra.
And then we went through the scenic route of what seemed like every suburb of Canberra, because the bus took over half an hour.
God.
It's probably a 10-minute car trip
Straight in.
through the hills, up the thingy. And then we went
Passes a bit of time.
we went past Parliament House.
Yes.
And I was like, it doesn't look that impressive. And then we turned a corner,
Yeah.
and we were looking like the back of Parliament.
You were looking at the servants'
I was
entrance.
like, oh, that's a bit weird. And then you turn the front, and then it's like the view of like up the thing.
up
and
the hill to the
yeah,
big,
I'm like,
and the big pointing.
oh, okay, that looks a bit better.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, it just looks fake though. Like, what do you
Because
mean?
it's just like
It just looks like a mirage of very shiny metal in the sky.
in a hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a different kind of thing.
I always find it quite odd that they built the first Parliament House down the hill.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at where old Parliament House is, you're like, why don't you build that on the top of the hill?
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're gonna go to the hill, why not go at the top of the hill?
You would
From
think.
1901,
Yeah.
which is not when
And
it
it's
started.
easier
I
then
know that.
to attack your enemies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently, because I'm
They have to run up the hill.
not
and
sure
you're just
anyone's
like, bang, bang, bang,
invading
bang, bang.
Canberra.
Well, no. But I would suggest, and I'm not going to judge how lively and how much there was to do in Canberra based off a Sunday afternoon.
That's fair. That's fair.
But there were some interesting characters around,
Oh, I can imagine.
and some that I weren't related to.
Some ex-ministers falling on hard times.
Oh, poor what's his name? No,
Oh.
I don't know anybody.
There's plenty of ex-ministers, probably ex-staffers that have fallen on hard times, because I feel like the ex-ministers fall on golden pensions.
Yeah, it's a very like clean city, and it's well
Yeah.
presented,
Yep.
and it has a H&M.
Let them tick.
It also, in their version of what I'm going to say is Burke Street Mall,
Yep.
it's a very creepy carousel kind of thing
Oh,
that's
really?
just in there.
It just goes.
And it was like big kids like riding it and stuff. And I'm like, that looks creepy. Like, what, am I the only one to find this creepy?
It's not 2 silver balls or a giant purse.
No,
Like,
it's not. A giant purse.
well, how can they compete with Melbourne's giant purse as the feature public artwork in the
Yeah.
Bourke Street Mall? Okay, so recommending road trips, not so much recommending Canberra.
Well, I just have a plan.
Yeah,
Because we didn't plan anything, even though we had a whole day. The only thing we planned on the Sunday was dinner.
yeah. And
I
Sunday's
think
probably...
we had to plan meals because at one stage there was like 30 of us.
I
So,
think Sunday is not a day where you like can do a tour of Parliament House
yes.
or a Questacon or a...
Yeah.
You could probably go to the National Gallery.
Well, yeah, but we also didn't know
See
where
blue
to
poles.
get the bus. So we just got the bus and it goes Canberra City Centre. We'll just get off here.
Yeah, that'll do.
Done.
And then just wandered.
Then we wandered.
Went to H&M,
Yeah.
rode the carousel.
We didn't
With
ride
Megan.
around the carousel. Then some people got a scooter. They did electric scooter
little
to the
e-scooter.
Yeah, so we went to the lake
Oh, to Lake Burley Griffin.
and had a little drink on the side of the lake,
Nice.
like at an establishment. We didn't just get a 6-pack and
yeah, out of a
help
brown paper
ourselves.
bag. Couple of Bilsons.
Yeah. And then it was actually a pretty nice day.
All right.
Anyway.
So good. Road trip recommendation. I found the book that I want to recommend.
Okay, good.
Okay. It is on Kindle.
Uh-huh.
I found this, and it is called Galaxy Cruise. Galaxy Cruise: The Maiden Voyage, a sci-fi comedy adventure.
Part 1.
Right?
Dead Reckoning.
Galaxy Cruise Complete Series Book 1. Okay. So it is book 1 of a series.
Yeah.
It's written by Marcus Alexander Hart.
Okay.
It is a sci-fi comedy, which I wanted to find because I want to write a sci-fi comedy.
Yep. Hitchhikers. Yep.
Yep. And yeah, I've read Hitchhikers a number of times, so I don't need to read that again.
Okay.
It is actually funny.
Oh.
A couple of times I laughed out loud, which I don't often do with books.
Right.
Because books you have to read words, process words, and then think about words.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll read words, process words, go, those words are funny, and then keep reading.
Maybe I should have a book for my upcoming flights.
Oh, well, I've got all these. I can lend you a book.
Nah, I'll just download stuff on my phone.
Do you know it would be funny if you read a couple of Goosebumps books on the plane?
35-year-old going on a business flight.
Be like, Monster Blood Part 2.
I'm here for business. It's choose your own adventure. And then it'll be like that episode of Family Guy where he goes, I'll go to page 31. And then he flips over and goes, scary monster. But I can go back. I didn't take my finger off the page, Lois. You seen it? I didn't take my finger off the page.
I've got some down here.
Choose your own
Goosebumps.
adventure. I should do that as a joke.
Choose your own adventure. You choose
I have
the
to work
scare.
out what I can carry on.
So Galaxy Cruise: The Maiden Voyage
Yep.
is funny. So what it is in the future, Earth is fucked.
Okay, that's great.
So what happened is Earth sent away peoples. And the American cryo ship sent away
Yeah.
got found by people, and then they got given one of the moons in this system to make a new Earth.
Yeah.
But this guy ran away from Earth because of a girl trouble,
Okay.
and he's working on a space station, but then somehow ends up as the captain of a space cruise ship, even though he's just a
Right.
random karaoke host on this other space station.
Okay.
And so there's lots of jokes of like misunderstanding of these, well, alien people, even though the humans are the aliens.
Yeah.
The alien people are like misunderstanding, thinking that the planet was America because it was the American ship that they found. And then there's all these funny misunderstandings of what they think of Americans and what they think of people and how useless people
Right.
are.
Is that how every time somebody asks an American name a country in Africa and they say Africa is a
They
country?
go Africa.
Is
yeah.
that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's something like that. There were a couple of jokes that I actually laughed out loud. One of them very clever in making fun of sci-fi tropes, but I won't spoil it.
Okay.
I'll tell you later, but I won't spoil it for any listeners that might want to go and get the book. And it is a part of a series, And what I liked about it being a part of the series was it wasn't super long.
Mm-hmm.
I read another book recently that is called Homeworld Lost, which is another sci-fi book, and it was long.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew it was part of a series, but this book didn't really end.
Right. Okay.
And you know, sometimes when you have a series, it's just like, this is going to be part one, and then that story continues, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But where Homeworld Lost Book 1 ended was not where it would I would have ended it.
Okay.
And so I was like reading. I'm like, oh, okay, this is the end of part 1. And there was like 4 more chapters, and then the book just ended.
Right. Okay.
Whereas Galaxy Cruise, the Maiden Voyage, a sci-fi comedy adventure Galaxy Cruise Complete Series Book 1 actually had a story.
And that's just the first page.
Actually had a story that ended,
Right.
but then was like, oh, there's going to be another story.
Okay.
So I like that as a series rather than breaking up a long book
Yep.
into a long story into shorter books.
Like, you know what I did? You know, okay. Listeners, we're going to go on a journey.
Okay.
I've decided to watch movies that are big movies that I haven't watched before,
Okay.
a la all the Marvel movies, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm
okay,
going back
yep.
to the start of that.
Yep.
And then I decided the other night, I need to watch Lord of the Rings,
Oh.
right? I
Yeah.
watched the first one
Yep.
before, fell asleep. And I watched Fellowship of the Ring again.
Yep. Fell asleep.
I didn't fall asleep. But I was like, ugh. I watched it in 2 parts. I was like, just get the fucking ring already or whatever is going on.
Yeah.
It's boring. And there's some bits that are actually hilarious. Like, and not meant to be funny.
Like aged badly hilarious?
For me, the graphics don't look great. But it's 20-something years old. I'll give it a pass.
Yeah, it's like 2001.
Yeah.
Not a Space Odyssey,
No,
the
but
year it was
that looks
released.
better.
Yep.
Yeah, anyway, what I'm getting to the point is that it is boring because it doesn't have an ending because it is part of the 3 things.
Yes.
So it's not the ultimate ending of the story,
No.
that it just kind of is 3 hours of going nowhere.
Yeah, and I'm definitely much more a fan of, if you're going to write a series, and this is what I'll do when I write a series, is that each section has a beginning, a middle, end. And you can make the whole thing have a beginning, middle, and end. Your whole series have a beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
But then make each book in the series have a beginning, middle, and end. And that's what has been done for Galaxy Cruise, the Maiden Voyage.
Okay.
So that's, I would recommend. I'll put a link to that in the show notes.
But yeah, Lord of the Rings, hilarious. Even, you know, when Ian McKellen's fighting Christopher Lee,
Yes.
and then he gets him and he's doing this little spin on his head.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious. I thought that was hilarious.
That was weird. I remember that at the time that was like, weird.
And then it's all just like, the orcs look terrible. For me, it was bordering. It was like almost good, but then kind of that B grade sci-fi stuff look of it sometimes as well.
Yeah, and I think it is from 2001. I just looked it up.
Yes.
It is from that era of the special effects of mid-90s to mid-2000s have not aged well.
No.
And
But I will get through the second one, and then I'll get through the third one, and then we'll see how we go.
you don't need to watch The Hobbit.
I'm not going to.
The Hobbit should have been one movie. Sorry, Peter.
You know,
Yeah.
split it up, make 3 times as much money.
Yeah, I know. But, nah.
So yeah, I'll come back with every episode. It's like, this is the Lord of the Rings I watched. This is the Marvel I'm up to. I got halfway through Iron Man and I was bored.
Yeah, you did say that.
Because you know who's in it.
Gwyneth. She's good in that, though.
Ugh.
I like her in that.
That was one of the 20 questions movies I did.
Iron Man.
Shakespeare in Love.
Oh, I was going to say, how'd you do Iron Man? You only watched half of it. You only did 10 questions.
And and then nobody got it.
Oh.
Yeah. And nobody got my other ones. And then the question, there was always one question that was out because we were driving and Maddie was like, will I know them? I'm like, yes, you have seen a movie with this person in it.
Okay.
Anyway, it was funny.
Do we have anything else to recommend food-wise? I haven't really eaten food.
No. I have something to recommend.
Yes.
It was a little funny thing I saw on socials.
Yep.
I would recommend thinking about what prizes you give someone for winning things.
Okay.
So there was this clip I saw of a paracyclist
Ooh.
that was given a watch as a prize, and he has no hands.
Jeez.
And then he was funny. Like the guy too, he was like, thanks, yay.
At least
Very unfortunate.
At least they didn't kiss them.
Oh, Dios mío.
I would recommend consent.
Recommend
We're not going to talk anymore about that.
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to another episode of 2 out of 3 Recommend. Hit subscribe if you're watching on the YouTube. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. If you like this and like movies, check out our feed of 2 Drink Cinema. Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, Lee. Thanks for listening to 2 out of 3 Recommend. We would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this podcast was produced and pay our respects to elders past and present.
If you'd like to support the podcast and become a member, gaining early access to episodes and an exclusive episode each month, sign up as a member using the link in the show notes.
If there's something you'd like to recommend to us, get in touch on the socials or in our Facebook group.
Make sure you subscribe to the podcast on your podcast app or on YouTube. Leave us a rating and review and tell your friends.